Hello guys, today we learn about AngularJS services. Basically, AngularJS services are JavaScript functions for specific tasks which can be used throughout the applications. AngularJS provides many inbuilt services, for example, HTTP, $route, $window, $location, S, and many more. Each service is responsible for specific tasks. For example, $HTTPS is used to make AJAX call to get the service data. $route is used to define the routing information and so on. Inbuilt services are always prefixed with dollar symbols in AngularJS. Now comes to the point. There are two ways to create a service. One is factory method and other is service method. Let us understand how we create factory method. First we define a factory method, then assign method to it. Example. Let us define a variable where myApp equal to angular.module and app name myApp, that is bracket for the dependency injections library. Here myApp.factory name and this is service factory name method service, and here define a functions curly braces. Then here we define factory where factory equal to curly braces open close this one and return a factory. That is just like a template to define a factory method, factory service basically in AngularJS. Now come to the second point, service method. How we define service method? See here. Already I've defined my app, a variable, my app.service, service name, CalcService, and comma functions and MathService. This is a injectable. Already we define here factory method, MathService. In this service, we have injected the math service means factory math service here and use of this method in here like this thus square equal to function passing the argument and return math service means already here, and there is define multiply and a by a comma a. Okay, let us we understand in these in our practical examples. Open a Visual Studio, and I have already here added a page AngularJS Service.html. Let us understand one by one how we can define a service factory method and service method, and how we use in the controller of these services. Let us first point go to the design part, like here body part basically, and headline AngularJS service and ngapp equal to myApp. Here we have defined and ng controller equal to calculator controller, name of the controllers. Now here we have put like enter a number, input text box, and model ng model a number name. And here we also have defined a button ng click square that is a method name in controller, and X has superpower. Calculate a number of squares. If we enter the number, then we give the result like 2, then you give the result 4. If you enter the number 3, then the result 9. And here is result for displaying result, and result is a binary result binary. Comes to the point. Here we see a UI like this one, AngularJS service numbers, and main things here we define here services, how to use and define and use of these services in a controller. Now first here we have added AngularJS library. Also we have added here bootstrap mini CSS for styling all the things. Now our JavaScript define here a script writing the methods. Come to the point. Here we write here first come here. Here define where myApp equal to angular.module, that is myApp name, and this one there is a definition of module. Now how to define a factory method? Let us see. myApp.factory, that is factory name MathService. Define function here. Already we see above where factory equal to curly braces and semicolon. Now define the function which return the factory. Basically factory dot multiply, that is a function name, and functions ab return a into b, return factory. Here see where factory define the variables, and there is a function multiply, and this function taking argument two argument like a and b, then returning a into b. After that factory method must return the factory, basically return factory. This is the template of factory how we write here. Now comes to the service, how we write the service. Already we know myApp.service, then service name CalcService. Here functions, braces, and here we write a method like this the square equal to functions. In function we return math multiplication of method, basically math service. Here we injected here by this one, basically math service factory, service factory method injected here, and we use the multiply functions here. Means math service, already we define factory method, then their method multiply function multiply and passing argument a into a, that's give the multiplication of two numbers. Now come to the main point. Here we write the controller. Our controller means myApp.controller. Calculate here. Now run the page. AngularJS service, and see here AngularJS service, and put here like any number. You have put here 2 and click on button. You give result 4. You put 3, then give result 9. If we put 25, we'll give 25 square, then result 625. So that's where we see that we achieve our results. So now thank you guys. Have a nice day. For more videos, please subscribe to my channel.